morning, River Landing. Here I am. I'm in the main living room doing a mat yoga class. Just a reminder, any mat yoga class that I do on these videos, we get down on the floor. So if you have an issue that you're not really quite sure if you can get back up off the floor, I'm going to ask you not to do this class, to pick a different one to do. Otherwise, I will show you how to use a chair. I've borrowed one of the beautiful chairs here in the living room to get up and down off the floor. So I will show you how to do that. But I just want you to use caution. If you're not sure, then maybe pick a chair yoga class to do. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start today with our feet right below our hips. Good. Standing up nice and tall. Bring those shoulders back. Good. Let's close our eyes just for a moment. And if closing your eyes makes you wobble or feel unsteady, you can always grab that chair or just look softly through your eyes. You don't have to close them completely if you don't want to. And let's just stand in this nice tall posture. Think about where your ears are. Your ears should be over your shoulders. Your shoulders should be over your hips. Palms are facing your thighs. Toes are forward. Now soften through your buttocks. So let those muscles of the lower back loose. Good. Because we're standing tall, you have to keep the muscles in the core a little tight. Nice big deep breaths. Let's breathe right into the belly. Now let's open up those eyes. Let's take our ear over to the side, and I'm going to take a slight step outward just because it makes me feel a little more balanced, because I'm not really focusing right now on balancing. I'm going to focus on a stretch. So I'm going to bring my hand up. I'm just going to gently let my hand lay on my head. I'm not pulling or tugging. I'm going to push one arm away right here, push it away. I'm going to open and close the hand. Open and close that hand. Good. All right, now keep that hand open and then let's make a circle. Good. So again, I'm not pulling or tugging here, but I am trying to keep that ear over. I'm feeling a stretch in my neck, especially with that circling of the hand. And then let's go the other way. Circle the other way. Good. Now, let's quiet the hand. I'm going to bring it right back down to my side. My palm is flexed. I'm going to look at the floor. I'm going to take my hand and just push real gently, bringing my chin towards my chest right here. Good. Feeling that stretch, breathing, remembering to keep everything in line, holding the tummy tight, relaxing through the buttocks. Good. Let's lift that hand off, and we're going to bring it up, look to the side, and bring it back to the center. Now let's roll the shoulders, see how they feel. Get a feel for, did that really do anything? Did it help me a little bit? Let's go to the other side. So we push the hand down towards the floor. We put that hand up gently right here. Good. Maybe a push away just a little bit more on a diagonal, and we're opening and closing that hand. Good. Feeling that into the neck. Good, then let's make that circle. And circle the other way. And then let's quiet that circle. Bring that hand right down by your side. I'm going to take the pressure off, and I'm going to turn and look towards the floor, gently pushing just a little bit, getting that stretch into the neck. And breathing. Nice big deep breaths here. Let's take that pressure off. We're going to look up to the side and then bring it back to the center. Good. Now, let's move our legs just a little bit. Get some blood pumping there. Let's just shake those legs out just a little. All right, and then let's go back to that stance. We're going to bring those arms out right here. Shoulders are tucked into that back pocket. I'm going to bring my hands right here to the back of my head. Now, some of us can't maybe do that anymore. We could put our hands on our shoulders. We could put our hands on our hips. But as this is a mat yoga class a little more advanced, we're going to go ahead, for those of us that can, put those hands right behind your head. I want you to push back just a little bit. Good. Keep your shoulders and ears in line, so I'm pushing the head back, and your natural body reaction is for your buttocks to go back a little bit. So I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm talking about. So when I pushed back, my fanny wanted to push back a little bit. So I'm going to keep it tucked right here so that I'm using those tummy muscles and I'm getting the most benefit from the push. Good. Now let's go to one side right here. Oh, stretch. Lift that top elbow. Push it back just that little bit. Feel that good stretch there. Good. All right. And lift it up. Let's come to that other side. Lift that elbow. Push it back. Open that chest to the sky.
Thank you.
Good. All right, and then let's open it up. Now, let's rock it again to the other side. This time we're going to open it completely with those arms out to the side, like I'm holding the big round world in my arms. And I'm going to lift that arm just a little bit, looking up just a little. Feel that stretch, warming everything up. Let's take that world, we're going to take it to the other side, look it up. And let's inhale and bring it all the way up. Let's take those hands and we're going to put them right here on that sacral bone. So right here at the very top of our back there. Good. Now bring your legs out a little wider this time, a little wider step. Bring those elbows out wide. Good. And again, feel how your natural inclination is to tilt those hips. And in this perspective, that's okay because we're going to come forward, keeping that hip tilted back just a little bit. Feeling the stretch through the legs. The knees are soft. We're still a little cool. Good. And breathing. Good. Feel that stretch. Stick that tailbone back. I'm going to go from the side view. So we're sticking that tailbone back. Feel the stretch. So don't tuck in here. That's really bad for your spine. And for me, it actually even hurts to do that. So let's stick that out. Rock back in your heels. Inhale and come all the way up. Good. All right. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of warrior series here. So we're going to take our feet, step them out about 2 feet apart. Taking one foot, we're going to pivot it so that they're perpendicular with each other. Taking a look that your heel should be in line with the instep or the heel of your other foot. Standing up nice and tall. We're going to rock right here. We're going to come forward and come back, pushing through that front leg. Good. Arms are parallel with the floor. Good. So building some strength there. I really want you to think about pushing in through your foot as you come up. Good. All right, now let's come all the way forward. Remember that holding of the world? Here it is again. We're going to hold that world right over the head. Stack your shoulders. Look up underneath that arm just that little bit. Holding here. I know it gets heavy. Pushing your feet into the floor. Good. Inhale. We're going to take that world. Keep that front knee bent. We're going to take the world. We're going to bring it to the back. Good. All right. Come back to that warrior two, but this time I want your palms open. All right. So let's inhale and lift that front leg so now the legs are straight. And we're going to come down in a modified triangle with our palms up. Rocking here, reaching. Pushing that foot into the floor, the back foot. Inhale, lift it up. Other side, palms are still up. Good. Now, let's come back up. Flip your hands, triangle pose still. Let's come forward again. And this time, maybe we're going to anchor here. Maybe we're going to come down a little further. Some of us have blocks, and we could come down to a block. Good, and see the difference. Can you feel the difference in how that felt? Inhale, let's reach it up and rock it back for that reverse. Oh, and my knee got a little bendy there, didn't it? Reverse triangle here, the knee is straight. Good. All right, now Let's bring it back to the center. Let's pivot, and we're gonna take that back foot and step it up just a little bit, and here we are in that warrior one, feeling that stretch right back into that heel, lifting right here, beautiful warrior ones. Let's put them into a cactus pose. Good, and you know what? Hold your cactus right there. I'm gonna turn on that ever so slightly, so I don't have to turn my head quite so much. Good, there we go. So, here we are, we're gonna bend that front knee, we're gonna do a little bellow. So we're gonna inhale, exhale, bellows. Inhale, open. Exhale, bellows. Good, inhale, open. Exhale, bellows. Inhale, open. Last time right here, bellows. Hold it together, palms are together, elbows are together. Feel the stretch in that shoulder. Nice tall posture here, ears are over your shoulders, and we're gonna curl it forward. Pushing that heel into the floor. Good, now open up those arms, reach them back. Lift that head ever so slightly. Now let's swoosh it up, so swoosh it all the way up. A little back bend. If this hurts, don't do it. It's okay, you don't have to back bend. Now let's bring it forward again. Pressure into that leg should be getting tired. We're using it a lot. Good stretch in the back there. Inhale, open. Good, last one, make it the best one. So we're gonna really reach it back. Bring it forward, maybe a little bit more. Keep the spine straight. For me, I have to stick my chest out. It helps me remember to keep my ears and hips in line, and then inhale. Let's lift it up. All right, you want a balance pose right here? Let's go ahead and come up to that warrior three. And you decide, arms could be here. Ooh. Arms could be on the floor, right? Arms could be here, 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 whatever helps you. Good, let's take that foot, we're gonna put it right back where it came from. Let's turn all toes forward. Good, march it out just a little bit. I need that little wiggle every once in a while. All right, so we have to do that other side. Good, so let's turn that other foot. We started with that nice tall posture, tighten the tummy, pushing the thighs out, and we rock. Good, rocking into that warrior two position, pushing through the foot. Make the thigh do the work. You push through your foot, you should feel that whole leg engage. Good. Let's hold this next one, hold it right here. Hold it, let's hold the world. We're gonna come on over, holding that world. Good, look underneath your armpit, that's gonna stack your shoulders. Good, beautiful. Keeping that front knee bent, let's come on over and reach it. Good, we could look underneath that armpit, it helps with the stacked shoulder. Good, oh. And then let's inhale, we come up with the palms lifted up towards the ceiling. We're gonna straighten the front leg. We're gonna come down for a triangle pose here, not really doing anything but anchoring just lightly on the thigh and reaching up overhead. Feeling that nice stretch. Good, now let's inhale, keeping that front leg straight. Come back, palm is still up. Beautiful. Now let's come back. Warrior two, bend that front knee. Palms come down. Reposition that little bit. Straighten that front leg for a triangle again. This time with the hand facing the leg. We can anchor here or anchor a little bit lower as we reach up. Look up if that feels good for your neck. Or if it doesn't, you can always look down. Just remember that changing where your head positioning is can affect your balance, so be careful. Good, try to keep that front leg nice and straight. Good, let's come all the way up and come back for that reverse triangle. This time the hand is by the thigh, we're reaching back for a big stretch. Pushing through the feet. Breathing, don't hold your breath, it's so easy to hold your breath, isn't it? All right, and then let's come up, let's pivot. So we're pivoting, and I usually need to take a little step forward so my heel is more towards the floor. Our goal is to get that heel on the floor. So we're going to bend that front knee, inhale, lift for that warrior one. Good. Now, cactus arms right here. Okay, those cactus arms. Good, holding right here, building strength, stretching through those hips. Good, let's take a big deep breath. And then exhale like a bellows. Good, inhale. Exhale. Good, inhale. And exhale. And inhale, last time. Exhale, hold the hands and the elbows together if you can. Good, and we're gonna bow it down. Building strength in that front leg. Good. Oops. I toppled over. I'm trying to make sure I have the right time so we don't go too long in any one thing. Good, now swing those arms back. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, swing it forward. Inhale, lift it up. Last one's the best one. We reach it forward. Maybe we're bending down a little bit. Keep that chest nice and straight. Feel that good stretch. And inhale, lift. Little back bend here, only if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, we don't have to do it. Good, balance challenge. Let's shift our weight. Putting our weight on our front leg, bringing that back leg up. Warrior 3. Holding right here. Good, and then let's step that foot down and turn everything back to the front. Good. All right, so now that we stretched everything really good, let's work a little bit more on those hamstring muscles. So let's go ahead and inhale and lift. Good, and we're gonna exhale coming into a forward fold. Now, when we come forward, we stick that chest out and we anchor somewhere. You notice I have a pillow here. Maybe that if I can't get to the floor, I might have that big thick pillow I might come to, right? I might come to blocks, I might come to a book, but something like that. So if you have a prop like that, have it handy. And we're in that forward fold. Just so happens I can't touch the floor, so I'm not gonna use that pillow. But you can keep the head and chest lifted to start. Lift your hips ever so slightly. Good. Now, let's go back into the heels. Put your weight into your heels. Put your hands on your thighs. Stop right here, monkey pose. Stick that bottom back. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come all the way up. Good. So we're going to do that forward fold again. Let's march those legs out a little bit. Kind of keep the blood pumping through all of the body parts. So inhale we go. Good, swan dive down, stick that chest out. We're coming to a prop of some kind, maybe. Maybe some of us can come all the way down to the floor, whatever works for you. Now I want you to think about where the weight is in your feet. Let's rock to the heel, rock to the toe. Rock to the heel, rock to the toe. Now if your neck is sore in that position, go ahead and let that head hang completely. So instead of looking at the floor, look at your thighs or your shins. Good. Now bring your weight right back even so that your weight is evenly distributed. Let's walk those hands up right here. We're going to inhale. Stick that bottom back, monkey pose. Exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale, cactus arms, and come up. Good. Did you feel how those cactus arms kind of helped you come up a little better? It maybe was a little bit harder too. Good. All right. One more time. Good, I got the stickiest mat today. It must be the humidity. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive down. Good, we're gonna come down to, maybe you're finding that you're coming down a little further each time. Good, so this time I want you to shift your weight and lift your hip. Shift your weight, lift the opposite hip. So if I shift right, I'm lifting the left. If I shift left, I'm lifting the right. Good, so shift and lift. All right. Now bring that weight right back to the center, nice and even. Bend those knees. Inhale, just come all the way up. If you're dizzy, hands go on the hips. Take a big breath. Good, get that oxygen in a little faster with the arms open nice and wide. All right, very good. So let's go ahead and get ready to come down to the floor. So I had said that I would show you a safe way to get down. So I'm gonna put my pillow up here right now. And here's my chair. For those of you that don't need the chair, go ahead and get down however you'd like to get down. And for those of you that want to use the chair, we inhale, lift. Good, exhale, swan dive down, stick that bottom back, just like we've been doing it. I'm gonna put my hands on the chair somewhere, bringing my hands, or my knees, one knee to the floor, then the next. And I have a rolly chair. That wasn't a good idea, so try not to use a rolly chair, because boy, that chair could have gone away from me fast, couldn't it? And then I'm gonna bring my hands to the floor. Good, so I'm in that tabletop position right here. Good, so your arms should be so that, I'm gonna turn just a little bit. Good, so your arms should be so that your shoulder and your wrist are in line with each other, so I shouldn't be out here. I should be here, good. All right, so let's do a little bit of cat and cow. You know, I always like to start with that. So inhale, lift. And exhale for that cow pose, sway that back. Good, inhale, lift, push through those hands, curl through that spine. And exhale, sway that back. And inhale and lift. And exhale and sway. Good, let's come back to that neutral spine. We're gonna swing one hip and try to touch it with your shoulder. And if you have a video of you doing that, I will buy you something from the creamery, because there's a lot of stuff in there that had to break in order for you to get there. And then let's bring it back, unless you're like 2 years old, right? And then let's go the other way. 2-year-olds are really flexible. Good. And then let's push back into that child's pose. And remember, if we need to, we can always put a blanket or a towel underneath the knees, so it gives us a little bit less bend in the knee, so it doesn't hurt quite as much. We're reaching, making this active. And then let's come forward. And we're gonna get a really good shoulder stretch today. So I'm gonna turn again even more so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm gonna bring my pillow prop, but you might have blocks or something like that. You might have blocks or something like that. That might be better. So if you need to, we're gonna be on our knees for just a little bit. So if you have a towel or a blanket, roll it up, put it under the knees such that the knees are hanging slightly over, and that takes any pressure off of the kneecap. So that's where you need to go if it's going to bother your knees to be doing this. So if you have blocks, you could use blocks. If you had books, you could use books. And you can play with the height of what we're going to do. So we're going to bring our elbows right here on our prop. This is a squishy pillow. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to double it down. There you go. Good. All right, elbows on that pillow prop. Block, book, whatever. So, and then our knees are right below our hips, just like child's pose. And then I want you to scoot your bottom back, just like you're going into child's pose. Your hands are in prayer, and we're going to bring our ears in between our arms. So bring your ears right between your arms. Good, now don't try to look at me. I don't want you to hurt your neck. Your hands are in prayer. I want you to take your hands, prayer hands together, and try to bring them down so you're going to touch your shoulder blades. Now, I'm not really going to get that far either, but that's your visual, is you're reaching for those shoulder blades. Feeling that stretch in the shoulder. So holding here, breathing. Good, now take your hands, keep them together, and we're going to push them forward until you feel a stretch. So past the midline, and you're still feeling that stretch. Past that midline, we're really working on that shoulder here. Now remember, if anything really hurts, I don't want you to do it, okay? If it hurts a lot, do it less. If it hurts still, don't do it, okay? So let's bring those hands back to the top. Let's push our hips forward so that brings you up over your prop, and we're going to come up again onto that table top position. Good. Okay. So still working on that shoulder. We're going to take one arm, we're going to make it parallel with the top of the mat. We're going to take the other arm, we're going to slide it forward, and we're going to push ourselves back yet again, and bringing our forehead to our block, maybe to the floor. So you should feel a big stretch right in the armpit area. And breathe. Let's come forward, push those hips forward. The arm that was forward, I want you now, come all the way up to here. Okay, come back up to that tabletop position. So the arm that was forward, I want you to go ahead and bring it out to the side. And I'm gonna play with this arm where I want it, okay? I'm gonna actually bring it out to the side. So my right arm is out to the side. I'm gonna bring my shoulder towards the floor, turning my head away from that arm. My other arm is on the floor, my hand is on the floor, my elbow is bent in a 90-degree angle. Good. So for some of us, this might be too deep, so lift your head up, put a block or a pillow underneath your head. Good, so I could be here. This gives me a stretch, but I'm not getting as deep of a stretch, so if I have a shoulder problem, it's not gonna hurt me as much, okay? Holding it here, feeling that stretch into the armpit. Now for some of us, if we've had cancer surgery in the chest area, this is hard to do, right? So make sure that you're propping yourself up appropriately. Good, now to get out of this, we're gonna bring that head all the way up. Still working with that same arm, we're gonna slide it through this time. So now the palm goes up, good. And I'm gonna try to bring my shoulder all the way to the point where I can get my chin kind of over that shoulder. The other arm, I'm gonna reach it forward, and I made myself a bit of a pretzel, haven't I? All right, and I'm gonna come down. Again, you could put a block or a pillow or something underneath that head, or you could just push back and just let yourself be elevated over that shoulder. So it's a big stretch into that shoulder. If anything feels wrong, push yourself up and don't do this pose. If it hurts, it pulls, it stings, it pops, then do something different. All right, and then let's breathe. Good. All right, to get out of this, we push our hips forward. Bring that arm all the way up, and let's go into a rabbit pose or a child's pose with the arms swung back. So we give ourselves a break in the hands and wrists. And breathe. Good, after this, we'll get off those knees. All right, so let's come forward. We need to do the other side. So we take that arm parallel with the top of the mat, slide that arm back, pushing ourselves back either with a pillow, a block, or on the floor. Holding, nice long stretch here. Breathing. Now let's push that forward. We're going to take that right arm, or whichever arm you weren't working with. So I'm working with my left arm. I'm going to take that arm right here. I'm going to slide it out. My right arm is bent. I'm looking up at the ceiling, and if I need to, I'm elevated on a block or a pillow. I can put my head on a block or a pillow. Good. Now let's inhale, come up. We're going to take that same arm, we're going to slide it through. Good, and we're going to try to bring our chin right over that arm. Now here's another one where maybe we want to stay elevated, so we might take that pillow and just stop it right here, right? Because we get the stretch right here. But for some of us, we do want to come down further. We're stretching the opposite arm up front, pushing those hips back. Good, push those hips back. Feel that good stretch there. get out of this pose, we're gonna turn our head, slide ourselves forward, and let's get off of those knees, right? Oh, yeah. All right, good job. Here I am turning my mat yet again. So, that was a lot of work on those knees. So let's get off the knees. Let's go ahead and come down to the floor. Yay, right? I'm gonna push that pillow away because I don't want it there. All right. Well, so this is a different perspective. I'm looking up into the chandeliers. Wow, hope they're anchored in well. All right, let's hold those legs in right here. Oh, I can feel that we were on those knees for a little bit. Now let's straighten them out just a little. Push those heels. Feel that nice stretch while we're here. Let's take those hands right next to your sides or out in a T position. We're gonna turn our toes outward, pushing our heels, a little Pilates here, keeping the belly button in a stable position without rocking the hips. We're gonna come down. Once that back starts to lift, we're gonna pull it up. Good, bring it down and pull it up. Just a little Pilates here. Bring it down. Feel like a zipper. I'm gonna zip it right back up. Bring it down and zip it back up. Good, zip it up. Good. Let's do 2 more of those. Good, and last one. Good, now let's separate those legs and we're gonna bring the arms right behind our head and we're gonna do a little bicycle right here. A little bicycle. Good, turning your head, you should be looking behind you. Try to keep those elbows out as wide as you can. Good. Working those tummy muscles, stretching out those legs a little bit. Good. Ooh, last one right there. All right, let's lay back down on the floor. Let's take those hands underneath those knees and open up those hips. Push it out. Good. Now let's take our hands, put them on the knees. Let's make a circle, circling right into that hip. Good. And roll the other way. Roll the other way. Bring those knees together, hands on the knees, push those knees away, stretching through the back just that little bit. Arms are nice and straight. Now let's inhale and hug it in. Good, one more time, let's do that again. So push those knees away, pushing into your hands. And then inhale and bring it all the way. And then let's put those feet on the floor, bringing your toes out to the edge of your mat. Arms come out into that T position. Let's rock it side to side. Good, rock it side to side, feeling the stretch in that hip. Feeling that motion, feeling that hip stretch. Good. Let's hold it to one side. So hold it to that one side. Good. If you want to make this a deeper stretch, we can lift that one foot and put it on the top of your knee. You don't have to do this. It's a much deeper pull into that hip, so don't do it if it doesn't feel good. And breathe. Good. Now take that foot off. Let's roll to the other side. Taking that foot, putting it on the top. I'm sorry I keep looking at my watch, but I'm trying to make sure that I do things at the right time so we don't go too long. Holding here, breathing. Good. And then let's bring that all the way in. Let's hug those knees in one more time. Good, shoot those legs up for one more little bit of Pilates. Let's bring those heels together. And we're gonna do a corkscrew, so we're gonna come down, around, and up. And then reverse it, down, around, and up. And down, around, and up. Good. Down, around, and up. Down, around, and up. Good. Down, around, and up. Are you breathing? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale. Inhale. Couple more. And last one. Good. Oh, hug those knees in. Good. Doesn't that feel good? Now let's stretch the other way. So let's bring those legs out long and stretch up the arms. Big stretch here. Got my pillow in the way. Oh, good. I can tell it's almost time for Shavasana, right? Okay, so let's stretch a little bit through the chest here. So leave your legs wherever they're comfortable. Maybe you need to put your feet back on the floor. Sometimes that feels better on your back. But I want you to think about where your arms are. When you reach up overhead, do your arms actually hit the floor and are you relaxed there? If you're not, if you find that your arms are, way, way up off the floor and nothing touches, without you bending your wrists and you're like this, I don't want you to be there. I want you to go ahead and bend your elbows into a cactus pose and see if you can get those hands on the floor. Some of us can't, and that's okay. If you're one of those people that can't, I want you to go ahead and slide your hands until they can rest comfortably on the floor. So the options are, your arm has to be on the floor, hands, elbows, shoulders on the floor. So if you can do here at the top. If you can do cactus pose, do that. And if you have to, come out into more of that cross type position. And we're just gonna lay here for a minute and feel that stretch. Good. And while we're here, let's make it active. Let's go ahead and I want you to push your belly button back into the floor. And release it. Good. So just hold those arms where they are. Push that belly button back into the floor, hold it in, and release it. Good. Push that belly button back, hold it back there, and release it. Two more, push that belly button back, hold it, and release it. And one more time, hold that belly button back, hold it right here, hold it, hold it, hold it. And release it. Good. Is it getting easier to have your arms where they are? Can you scoot them up a little bit if you had them out like across? Can you scoot them up along the floor a little bit? Just for another moment here as we breathe some nice big belly breaths. Breathing nice big deep breaths. Just stretching through that chest. If you had time to do this for 10 to 15 minutes a day, it's a great spine aligner. It's going to help align your spine and your shoulders and your back. And if you could do it with your feet or your calf muscles all the way almost to your knees on the chair where you're comfortable. So if you were elevated and we were here with that chair right underneath there, that's even going to be better. It's really going to help you. So think about trying to find some time throughout your week to do that for yourself. It's a nice thing you can do for yourself. It helps reset your alignment. Okay, so let's get ready for Shavasana now that we're nice and quiet and calm. I'm going to bring my arms down by my sides, but you can keep yours up here if you'd like. I'm going to bring my feet down, my knees together, because that feels better for my back. And we're just going to be quiet for just a little bit. We're going to breathe some nice big deep breaths. Relaxing through that body, letting no muscle be in place. That's why I'm letting my knees knock against each other so I don't have to hold them there. And we're breathing nice big deep breaths. Relaxing, softening. Let's try to do at least a full minute, if not two, of just relaxing and breathing. Listening to the music if you can hear it. slowly bring our focus back into the room. Holding on to that peace and that calm. Good. When you're ready, slide your feet to the floor. And roll over to your least encumbered position so that you can sit up in a seated style of your choosing. Let's take a big deep breath. Inhale. And let it go. Good. For today, let's do something a little different. So we're going to inhale, and I want you to think that you're scooping up all good things, things that make you happy. Good. Your children, your family, the love of your friends. Sometimes maybe it's good food or good things to drink. Lift them up and then shower yourself with those things. Good. One more time. Inhale, lift up all those good things and shower yourself with them. Good. Last big deep breath, bringing those hands up to prayer. One of the greatest gifts we have. Thank you so much for sharing your mat yoga with me today in the living room. I hope you had as much fun as I did and that you feel stretched and ready for a fabulous day. Namaste.